Hello dears, and welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna, where we show you a lot of interesting and useful information about Benidorm town and Spain in general. Today we are once again on the lovely Levante beach, and it's early in the morning to let you know all the latest news update from Spain and Benidorm's region. First of all, let's talk about the situation. Right now, no one talks about the virus any longer. The thing that people talk about the most is the heat wave in Spain and the huge amount of fires that our country is forced to live in right now. We've had around between 30 and 40 different fire alarms here in the whole area of Spain, and some of them were quite hard to extinguish, almost impossible to extinguish due to the heat air mass that's coming from Africa, as well as in general no wind, just like worst ever conditions. And due to this heat wave, there are a lot of people that lost their lives. In the last less than a week, more or less, I would say like around 12-13 days, more than 1,040 people have lost their lives due to heat wave. Mostly these are workers or tourists that did not know it might be as dangerous. Mostly these are workers that work in hosteleria, for example, in bars, restaurants, on the sunshine, on the terrace all the time. These are cleaning workers that work in town, people who bring your mail, for example, or bring publicity like flyers towards your house, or by the cars. They just leave it. Delivery guys and girls, they are having really hard time right now. And by the way, due to all this situation, Spain has made a specific document, like a law that they need to approve still. However, this law is actually saying that you are able to go to the doctor and ask them for the sick permit, if you're not able to work in such extreme temperatures. Because, for example, I'm not able to work in these temperatures. I will be feeling extremely bad if I would. And a lot of people are like this. They just don't tolerate 40 degrees outside. So this is something that people are thinking of doing, or changing timetables, because Spain obviously is a hot country. However, each year temperatures are becoming more and more aggressive and worse. There's more heat waves here. They're more intense, they're longer and stronger. So maybe it's time to think on how to adjust to these temperatures so that so many people wouldn't lose their lives due to a heat wave. The second news comes from Benidorm town, and it's related to the mobility scooters. These ones right here that you actually can see all around Benidorm, going through the alleys, going through the beach zone, through the city center, and in general in a lot of places here in the area. What is happening is that police officers are intensifying controls and are reminding users on what is allowed and what is not allowed to do, as well as giving some fines if people don't do things by law and decide to do them their own way. Why this is happening? Because in our area it's way more strict right now, all the situation with the scooters and like electric mobility chairs, for people with mobility issues. The thing why this has happened was because these mobility companies, rental companies, they basically were renting these mobility scooters towards all people. Every single person that was coming inside, they were giving them the mobility scooter. And there were a lot of youngsters that were just having fun and making fun. They were doing a lot of damage to the town as well as to people. There were a lot of accidents due to these mobility scooters. They were running correctly in ways and in places where it should not be done. So after that, there was a law stating that basically mobility scooters, you are not able to go with them through the walking streets, like the walk part for pedestrians. You're not able to go with them unless you have mobility issues that you can prove, and by this you can go through the areas where pedestrians walk. However, you can only go by like 4 kilometers per hour, so basically by the same rhythm that people are walking there, not faster. So police basically goes two ways right now. From one side, they're heading to these rental companies and informing them, as well as heading to hotels and informing hotels, apart hotels, camping owners and management team that whom they should allow to use these and whom they shouldn't be allowing to use these mobility scooters. Also, very important thing is that not only reduce mobility, also people who basically are, for example, in a wheelchair, people who need this to be able to move through the town, and older than 55 years old. In this case, you can actually have this mobility scooter. But obviously, if you have mobility issues, you'll be able to have some kind of a document or something somehow to prove that it's not only because you like it, if you're younger than this age. If they see that the company is renting these for everyone without any single thought about who shouldn't be taking them to avoid issues, there will be a fine of approximately 500 euros for a company. And this same fine of 500 euros will be for people who are using these mobility scooters or electric scooters, electric bikes incorrectly. How you should be using them. As I've told you already, you are able to go down the bike lanes when they are not like on the same level with the pedestrian ones. So if a bike lane is on the road, you're able to use it, and this is what you should be using for the scooters and electric bicycles. You're not able to go through the pedestrian area unless you have certified mobility issues, which we talked already about. If not, you're not allowed to use any kind of road where people are actually circulating. For example, right now I'm seeing one person, probably is more than 55, but he's using the electric mobility scooter and he is going through the pedestrian area. You'll see him passing by probably right now in a few seconds. And he's using the pedestrian area and he's going faster than 4 kilometers per hour. But I mean, people are just not informed. It's nowhere to be seen, this information, and mobility rental companies, they don't say it to people. So how should you know? Like, how can you know if no one is saying that to you? So, I mean, it's only fair for police officers to remind, you know, people. Yeah, it's right there. You can see it right now in a second. See? I mean, it's only fair to give a fine if you were informed and you're still making this, you know, you're still doing this. But if no one told you it's not possible, I mean, companies should inform better and not only go for the money, not only go for a profit, but actually make things how they should be done, because people that don't know it will later on get a fine because of this company did not inform them properly where they can and cannot go. So we'll see what's going to be happening. Maybe we'll see way less scooters. Like 2 years ago, more or less, this law came in place and people were quite careful with it. But right now, after pandemics, people seem to have forgotten on where these things can be or cannot be used. So police is here making controls to remind them about that. And the last news that I wanted to share with you is really, really important for a lot of the hotels in Benidorm, those of them who are usually open during winter time. Here, winter is really calm and quiet. There are some tourists coming, especially third age, older couples without children or solo travelers are coming here. And those who cannot survive the extreme heat, for example, and are looking for cooler months to be able to enjoy our lovely town and surrounding area. So during winter, some of the hotels, especially oriented for families with children, they're closing down, and others are remaining open to receive the other side of tourism. And these hotels, the majority of them, were also working with a specific government company, which is called IMSER. So basically, the government was in charge of create groups with third age associations, and these groups were coming to Benidorm with a really, really low price. And this price is 22 euros per person per night in a 4-star hotel with full board and drinks included and Wi-Fi and every single service of the hotel included. Imagine 22 euros per night. This is a total ruin. This is a total disaster for the hotels. They were trying to talk with the government to higher up the prices because their costs went up by 30% already. So 22 euros per night is just something they cannot deal with. I mean, these are just ridiculous prices for hotels to be able to survive during this time. And it was just not worth opening up. any longer. So as they've seen that the government they are closing their ears, they don't want to see, don't want to hear anything, what they did is majority of the hotels that were opening on winter and working with these type of tourism, they've canceled their contracts. They've said that they no longer are a part of this government's program, and they are creating their own private traveling program for the third age people. We don't know if this program, since it's private, we don't know if it's something that all people, even tourists, will be able to benefit from a certain age, you know, or if it's going to be something just for people who are living in Spain and wants to travel, third age people. But this is a great news for a lot of the hotels, because apart from maintaining the tourism alive during winter, apart from giving the opportunity for people to travel, you know, for a less price, especially pensionists, because they're not receiving a lot of money monthly, you know. Apart from that, they are able to maintain the hotels open, maintain the work positions, and the economy of the region will not get paralyzed during winter, how it happens in some places in the world when the tourism season is actually over. So overall, it's a great news. We're just left to see what is going to be happening with this program and who will be able to apply for it, from which age, and if it's for international tourists as well, which would be a great opportunity. Although I must say, a lot of the hotels already offer during winter discounts for pensionists. If you are in this age group, check that, because you might be surprised with the prices that you can get for winter time. Basically they check your age by your birthday, and that's it, in the hotel, and you just need to show your ID when you arrive, and you can apply for this additional discount. It just says older than 65, I think, in a lot of the hotels. I know that Magic Chain had it, Magic Costa Blanca, and I think a few other hotel chains, the major hotel chains here in Benidorm, they did offer this as well. Maybe Met Playa or Server Group, not too sure, but you can go on their website and see the offers that they have for winter, and you will be quite surprised with the prices that you can obtain, even without this private program for pensionists. In winter, it's quite cheap to come here to Benidorm, because you can even rent an apartment, which is going to be really cheap, like a month's rent, but you will be able to live the whole entire month here in Benidorm. And hotels obviously are lowering the prices. The lowest prices are in January and beginning of December, January, February, beginning of December. On holidays, obviously, which are Christmas and Three Kings here celebrations, prices are getting really high up. But that's because it's holiday season, and during that, hotels are getting quite full. So bear that in mind for the future winter holidays if you're planning to visit our lovely Benidorm town. And now let's talk about the weather. It's early morning, it's 8:15 more or less, so I came here like at 8 a.m. to be able to do the news outside on the beach, because if not, that's simply impossible starting from 9:30 in the morning. The temperatures are quite high, and the heat wave is still not abandoning us. There are no major changes in general in Spain. It's sunny, it's really hot without barely any clouds at all. Only some of them on the north parts of Spain. The rest is going to be really sunny. And this is going to be happening all this entire week, maybe up until like Monday, Tuesday. We might get some more clouds here in the area, but not more than that. The heat wave continues, and sadly the fires that are here in Spain. Benidorm is on fire, as many say, and that's a total true. Look at that, even seagulls right there in front of us, they are in the shade because it's too warm already to stay on the sunshine. And the temperatures are elevated quite a lot in a lot of places here in Spain. You can see it right here on the map. There are a lot of dark blue dots here in the country, which means that it's around like 40 degrees in there. This weekend is going to be probably the hottest time, and it's when we'll reach potentially 37 degrees here in Benidorm, so you need to be really careful, especially this weekend. Here today we have only 34 degrees, which is already a lot. I know you're having hard time in UK. You were having hard time in UK also with 40 degrees. Well, this is something that we deal with every single day, so you can imagine how hard it might be for a lot of people. So take care, drink a lot of water, and make sure you are protected. In Alicante, it's going to be 32 degrees today. In Barcelona, 34, Granada, 40. Malaga will have around 30 degrees, Sevilla, 41, Madrid, 38, Murcia, 38 as well. Balearic Islands, 34, Canarian, 25 to 31, and Valencia, 32 degrees today. The water temperature is shockingly high, 27.7 degrees here in Benidorm. So it's just like warm milk, basically, which is why sometimes it's hard to get the heat out of the body when the water temperature is as high here in the Mediterranean Sea. This was the latest news update from Spain and Benidorm town. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. I wish you a lovely beginning of weekend, and those of you who are coming to Spain, a lot of precaution, drink a lot of water, hydrate yourself, use sun hats, sunscreen protection, and don't go out on midday because it's quite dangerous. Apart from that, I hope you'll enjoy your holidays here in our sunny country, Spain. I'll see you on Sunday with a new video. Bye.